Ladies and gentlemen, Kei Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up about 0.3% on the S&P. Nasdaq is flat today though. Semiconductor and Dow same, up a little bit. Russell 2000 0.7% positive. Transport made a move today, 1%. Energy is up about 2.5%, while the banks is up only a little bit, 0.3% there. Biotech up 1%. Same with the healthcare. Home builders 0.3%, utilities 0.9%, retail and emerging market, they're both down today. They were up quite a bit, I think, yesterday. Bitcoin is up about 2% there. Gold down, silver down, miners up a little bit, dollar down. Oil's up 2%, treasury bond up 0.4%, VIX is up slightly there. Let's stick with S&P 500 ETF. Spider 65-minute chart here. So it looks like we gapped up here. This is where it closed yesterday. And it looked like it was going to continue to see a downside with the, last 2 hours of downturn on the last night's trading session. Well, what happened was we gapped up here, right? And this is why I want to continue to give benefit of doubt to the buyers when we are holding certain support levels, because we're talked about it is holding that rising pivot, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. As I zoom out, you'll see it. This is where it closed. We gapped up here, hung around for about 2 hours. On the third hour, we kind of threw that potentially some sort of an evening star reversal here. And then finally on the fourth hour, looks like a lot of stops are getting taken out on the fourth hour. So people chase it up here, place their stop right here. Those stops are getting taken out. And then on the fifth hour, what happened? The gap got filled. What happens when the gap gets filled? If it's an up gap, it's going to act as support. If it's a down gap, it is going to act as what? Resistance. So this time, right? This time it's an up gap, right? This is where it closed. This is where it opened. It went up. It gapped up. It gapped up, meaning it opened here. This is where it closed. It gapped up. So when the gap got closed, it acted as support. The buyers rushed in, right, through that hammer-like candle there. And then on the last hour, we saw that thrust. So we do have 3-day bullish reversal candle. Similar to here, right? This is, again, bearish reversal candle, right? This is like an evening start reversal, right? We got the green, we got doji, and then red. Here is opposite of that, right? We got the red candle, we got the hammer-like candle there, right? Dragonfly doji to be exact. And then we got the bullish candle and went up right to that neckline. And that's a level, you can see that that's a micro-term resistance here, the support, resistance, right? We close right at it. So what the buyers need to do, if they want to see this 3-day bullish reversal candlestick pattern to play out, they need to see at least 2 hours of bullish move. They will hold up above 453.20. It needs to hold above it for the first 2 hours. I think if we can see some like that tomorrow, there's a good chance we will see a rally all day tomorrow. But we start to fizzle, come back down, things might get a little bit hectic here. I'm going to explain that why, but you know what? Let's kind of zoom out a little bit. We'll talk about that rising pivot, which we talked about this entire week. That's a rising pivot meaning prior resistance, potentially acting as new support. And this entire week here, we've been holding that level this entire week. We've been seeing some of these gap ups getting filled same day. And with that level's holding. My short-term moving average currently trading at 450, residing at 450.90 or so. There's a gap area in that vicinity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this a little bit here. So 450 still important level. Should there be any kind of decline or shenanigan to the downside, if we lose this level, does not mean it is end of the excuse me. It is not game over for the bulls if we lose that rising pivot, because we still have 450 and 4 in the gap. We got the 450 gap area. We got that moving average residing in the. Keep in mind that moving average. You see the little decline right here. Act as strong support. 2-day rally afterwards. So that does have a little bit of a weight to it, so we want to kind of respect it. So as long as we stay above 450, so we want to continue to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers in the short term. The micro term, we're holding this pivot. So even if we lose that micro term, right? I mean, the pivot itself is not micro term. That's more like an intermediate mid-term pivot. But I'm just talking about in the micro term, it's been holding this level last 4 days this week. But this, this rising uptrend uptrending moving average. My short-term moving average, it's been trending since, you know, mid-August. So that's more of a short term here. So that's where we're staying. 450. So should there be any kind of decline, 450 is an active support. That gap hasn't been filled, so that level generally is going to be active, strong support. So what I'm getting at it, even if we lose this rising pivot, doesn't mean that it's going to be over for the bulls, because we have other support levels that bears need to go, you know, bears need to dismantle before they can go even lower. But a lot of times when some of these gaps have been acting as pretty strong support, you can see this gap never once got filled, and even with this decline, we saw a big move here. And ever since then, we've been cultivating higher lows and higher highs. So I want to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers in the short term and the midterm. Obviously, that's a midterm right here. That's a short term. That's a micro term. So midterm bullish, short term bullish, micro term bullish. So we're just talking about in the micro term. Are we going to have to come back down? Let's check out that oscillator, because that oscillator is potentially telling us maybe prices want to come down lower, because we do have potential what it looks like bearish divergence. So that looks like right here. So that means we got higher high in the price action, lower high on the oscillator there. This isn't something that we haven't seen before. We've seen that right here. Higher high, lower high. We did see a little bit of downturn, nothing crazy though, but quickly bulls did bring it back up and lasted for a couple of weeks or so. So you may see this thing coming down. 450, 448 or so might be a strong support before this thing getting back up. If we do see this thing playing out, if we do see a 2 hours of bullish move tomorrow, you know, bulls can nullify this signal by getting above. So if I were to draw this line right here, and if the oscillator kind of gets back up like this, there's a good chance that that bearish divergence could be nullified and market continue to move higher. So, well, I'll come back for you. You can follow me at 2K Kim on Stock Twist and Twitter. Tomorrow's Friday, so there will not be a video. I'm gonna have to come back for you on Monday.